Folks, it's X back again, and yeah, man, it's time to get back into some shit. Alright, well, a little bit different shit. Kind of wanted to chop it up with y'all today and just catch y'all up. You know, it's been a little minute since I've been being consistent, and just it's pretty much life, working consistently, being a truck driver, traveling from Georgia to South Carolina to North Carolina and back, then so on and so on. That's what your boy been up to, and of course having kids kind of makes doing these videos a little bit more harder as time goes on, but still having my times in between where it's basically my damn schedule. But anyways, guys, yeah, to touch out to base, I kind of wanted to touch on just life. Life. You gotta navigate life in a certain kind of way nowadays, and there's a lot of shit going on. Obviously, I don't know if y'all should have heard, but Trump almost got assassinated, and he almost got assassinated by a goddamn 19-year-old. It's fucking crazy, man. And grandma says that if he did die or get assassinated, probably would be a civil war. But I think that's still a big possibility, just off the fact of what already just happened. So I kind of wanted to talk about like keeping ourselves together mentally and emotionally, because it's very important nowadays. There's this energy that's going around, and I see it. I can give y'all an easy example just on my job alone. Driving out with all the traffic around us and stuff, things get pretty hectic, and you can easily see it. I can even sense like when shit's about to go down, and I'm pretty much 95% accurate most of the time. It's like this energy, and I see it affects even some of my family members. Why people want to be so much in a rush nowadays. I understand we got places and things that we have to do, and we have to do some of those by a certain time. But this hasteful kind of energy, man, it kind of like, it's contagious from what I noticed. Once one person is speeding, another person wants to catch up to them or whatnot, and shit like that. So the energy from all different type of avenues, scenarios in life it's like brewing and stewing, and it's affecting everybody in the immediate vicinity of the shit, So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch base on, make this topic for this video, because yeah, we have to navigate life in a certain kind of way, and I always advocate for being positive, right? But when I say being positive, let me be specific. I gotta be specific from talking from a man's point of view, and I guess I could kind of try to work from a woman's side of view, but starting with men nowadays, listen, shout out to my homeboy King. Me and him been having a lot of talks about this same subject lately. When it comes to male energy nowadays, it's basically this pussy nigga energy that's going on around. And basically what I mean by that is like niggas are too emotional, like especially when it comes to their female counterparts. Like, I don't know if y'all been noticing, but this red pill kind of mentality of how men wants to treat women nowadays, it just gets rid of that whole thought of chivalry. I'm a man that was born in the 90s, and I still appreciate that kind of mentality of how we looked at women. We gave them much respect, way more respect than most men give women nowadays, and I feel like I could understand why, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But basically it's affecting both sides. Whatever this government, whoever's in the back end running shit, they're kind of putting out this information, this media, to kind of separate man and woman. And it really seems to be directed towards melanated men and women. That whole like melanated man and woman, that whole family thing, it's like super fucked up. It's in a bad state right now. And I'm not saying that just for our race or the African American race, the black race, whatever you want to call us. It's affecting all races. But yeah, from a man's standpoint, a man's point of view, we have to be a little more Well, a lot more disciplined. You know, again, when a man is dealing with a woman, you have to put your feelings kind of aside. You know, I don't want to say every single time in every single instance, but say for instance there's some kind of clashing going on. Man has to shut the fuck up and listen to his woman, right? And try to put himself in his woman's shoes in kind of a sense. Like, you gotta be more understanding, and of course it should go both ways, but men should have, you know, we are hardwired different. Women are gonna be way more emotional. So just off of that fact, you know, we have to be a lot more stronger than what men are doing nowadays. And there's a science to it. There's a big science to it. This body that we have is very, very interesting. Very interesting. And if you're not disciplined in certain areas, you're going to be losing out on something that could help you deal with these situations that I'm talking about a whole lot more better. And that's one of those things, is learning to control your seed. All right, learning to keep your seed. Now, if you don't know what seed is, look it up. I'm not going to go into specific terms right now, but y'all should know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, it's not just the purpose. It's not just for the purpose of making or repopulating or making babies. All right, it does a lot for the human or the male body, the soul, the spirit. It does a lot for your aura field, and I know that for a fact because, listen, when you're disciplined in that area, it affects people. It definitely affects people. I know, been noticing the differences over the years. And when you're able to control yourself in a certain kind of sense, it does things to people. Like, people, especially, listen, I come across people, random people on a daily basis when I'm out driving about and going to different places, stopping by different rest stops and stuff. I come across an influx of many different people. And I've noticed times where I might have dabbled, and I've noticed their interactions, and over the years you notice the changes of, like, when you do keep yourself together. So very important, keep that in mind. Learn to control yourself. Again, I hate to be kind of like, hate to generalize this shit, but when it comes to a king, the kings that I used to look up to, like when I was a kid, was a king who showed much moral, had a lot of morals and standards, and kept them, and had a lot of respect, not only for himself but for everybody around him, and also discipline. You know, he didn't act on every single impulse. He thought, maybe once, twice, he thought hard about any decision that he would make. Niggas don't do that nowadays. Niggas are quick to do something real quick just off of some bullshit. You know, so on the women's side, I can't say too much for y'all. You know, that's your own battle to fight. But, you know, I know y'all women out there are hurt by a lot of different reasons, and this trauma is on both sides, men and women's side. But of course, you ladies, you women being the more emotional aspect, I'm just gonna say I understand it, and I think it's important for you to find a person, a partner. And I'm saying partner, it doesn't always have to be a man, I guess, in our nowadays world, but that truly understands your way of your bodies. You know what I'm saying? You know, the way y'all interact and stuff. It's very important. And I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I feel like I can't really touch too much on the female side, so I'm gonna leave that shit alone, okay? Before y'all start beating me down and shit. But yeah, man. Assassinations, attempts, people killing each other left and right. I've done talked about this in previous videos. It's fucking crazy, and there's this demonic energy out here. So when I say to keep yourselves together, y'all have to learn what irks you and fight against all of that. And if there's any trauma that you've dealt with in the past. Very important for you to come to terms with that and try to make amends with that. A lot of people have been fortunate in many different areas, especially in the younger years, and it's sad. Definitely sad. It seems to be a majority of people, men and women, mostly women, but it happens a lot to the males as well, and it's disgusting. And y'all know what I'm talking about. It's usually from a sexual nature, and that's why I say this. We need to make a big change, especially for this next generation, because it seems to be getting a little bit more perverted as time goes on. Now, just to stay on the same topic, this whole thing with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, it's kind of foils into what I was just talking about, because if you look deeper into this whole situation, it would seem that Kendrick obviously represents a certain type of male energy, and Drake represents a certain type of male energy. And it took me some time to look into this whole matter, because listen, I'm one who stays away from media as much as possible, but I have friends and family members who literally just kept like telling me, yo, you got to see this shit. You got to see this shit. And yeah, just recently, I think last week, I just finally looked at that music video. Dope ass music video. And cool. I'm not too crazy about it, trust me. But I see, you listen, there's a podcast that I follow, Black Magic 363. They had a show based around this whole Kendrick and Drake thing. And this is exactly where I'm talking from, because it's so easy to see, especially when you have a mentality already on scene between or beneath the surface, right? Kendrick represents a stronger male who's able to keep himself together, be more disciplined. And Drake represents kind of like this womanizer man type of energy, one that I don't know, is just a little bit more off the ball, I guess. I don't know how to put that, but everybody has the right to live their life however they see fit, and everybody's going to have different biases just based on who you are as a person. So I'm not telling you how to live your life, but if by some chance just what I'm saying resonates with you, stick to it and keep on doing your best to boost and strengthen yourself up, you know what I mean? And of course there's another saying, strength comes in numbers. So it's like once one of us is building each other up, another one builds himself up, and we sharpen each other up like iron, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to all y'all again. Now, yeah guys, we're being attacked on many different levels, from the food system, just speaking on the food, there's many different ingredients and chemicals that's banned in other countries. So we have to be careful what we intake. There's only so much you can get away with, because literally everywhere we're being attacked from. But the water system, the medical system, which just if y'all never really had it said straight to you like this, the medical system doesn't really deal with the problem. They deal with the solutions. I'm talking about these pharmaceutical type stuff, There are doctors that do try to take care of the problems, but I'm talking about in a general kind of sense, especially for the people who choose to get medication to deal with their problems. We, I think, need to try to get off of that as much as possible. I know some people can't just jump straight off of medicine. They have to wean themselves off, but I would highly recommend trying to go for a more holistic approach. You know what I mean? Something more natural. So those things we're being attacked from, and of course the media, man. The media is showing us all kinds of garbage that's just infiltrating our minds, and it's sad. That's why I choose not to even dabble into movies, TV. I don't watch TV, period. If I do, it's only walking into somebody else's room and catching them watching the news for a second, and that's pretty much it. All that shit is still bad enough, and a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the news. You take it how you want, but Um, I'm pretty much somebody who sticks to seeing what other people say and taking or using my perspective to analyze it and see what resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? People like me, or people who's doing the things that I'm doing, we try to build our content around certain things and certain topics to try to give a message in kind of a way. That's basically why I started this channel a long time ago. Well, not when I started it, but when I started doing videos like this. I wanted to give a good message. I don't always hit the message exactly on the head like I should, but if y'all can see the deeper meanings of why I do what I do, shout out to y'all. Alright, but yeah, man, this was kind of like a random one. Just wanted to touch base with y'all a little bit, let y'all know what's been on my mind. I try to live my life every day, trying to be the best person I can. And it's a beautiful way to live life. It definitely is, man, because I feel like it's almost kind of like a game, a test in kind of a sense. I'm not saying that I get tried every day, but nowadays, if I do get tried on just some patience or some kind of somebody being rude to me, I laugh and scoff at it because I know I'm way better and I can easily deal with that situation how a man is supposed to deal with that situation. So I welcome good days, bad days, whatever. I appreciate them all because they all are necessary. I mean, if we always had good days, like, I guess we wouldn't understand what bad days are, right? In a sense. So, yeah, this was a random one, y'all. I do want to go ahead and look at 3 random videos on WorldStar, so we're going to dive into that. And we'll end it up with that, just to see what's going on. We already kind of know what's going on in this world, and it's complete chaos. It's complete chaos. But just take a look at what's going on today. Just today. I think this is going to be interesting. Again, it's kind of random, but let's take a look at this first one. It broke it down to a science. Is this man spitting some real facts about females knowing what they are doing when they dress? Now, I kind of wanted to talk about things in a more deeper sense, but I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I just did a video, figured out my fucking mic wasn't working, so this is me doing a redo, and I'm not hitting everything as well as I did in the last time, but we can't hear shit, so this time I know for a fact we're good, but we're going to look into this, see what the hell's going on. Application error, client said. Hold on. Is this really... Okay, apparently we can't look at that. So, let me refresh the page. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright. Philadelphia man who ejaculated on a woman's leg in a Dollar Tree store turns himself in. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, damn, dude, you was in a dollar store and how the fuck did you get a chance to... Let's take a look at the shit. In 1 second. My computer actually decided to fucking upgrade itself to Windows 11 just the other day without my consent. And things is a little bit different, so give me 1 second, y'all. It's probably the fucking reason why I couldn't even fucking hear myself in that last recording. See what this shit's about.
This just in, the man police say sexually assaulted a woman at a South Philly Dollar Tree store has turned himself in. The attack gaining national attention, even rapper Meek Mill tweeting today that he would award $2,000 to the person who finds him.
What?
Police identified him as
$2,000?
35-year-old Gary Miles. His surrender happening after disturbing video circulated on social media appearing to show the end of the assault. It happened at the store located at Snyder Plaza on East Snyder Street on June 23rd. Police say a mugshot will be released once charges are officially...
It's not... Look at the shirt that he's wearing. It's not going to lick itself. That's already kind of perverted itself, ain't it? I'd feel I'd feel a little bit weird wearing a shirt like that, but then again, I wear a shirt that says click clack, kick back with a gun on it. So I guess to each its own, but obviously the shirt that he's wearing gives a sign as to what's really going on in this man's head. And how the fuck is nobody able to find this M forehead shaped motherfucker, man? Should be pretty obvious. He's probably out in hiding. But he said he turned himself in. It says he turned himself in. Props to him for doing that, but what the hell, dude? This is exactly what I said about us men needing to discipline ourselves in every single avenue, because listen, the world needs more stronger men. We can't have men just being so emotional and so sexually driven to the point where they can't even control themselves in the fucking dollar store. Dude, what kind of shit? And the whole fact of Meek Mill, like, what this is, Philadelphia, okay. Meek Mill got to the point where it was like, this nigga's doing this. $2,000 for the nigga who catches this nigga. It's too late. He turned himself in. People. I heard what I said. I don't know what else to say about this shit, but be careful. Be careful out there, especially y'all ladies. Because obviously men are doing this shit. Let's move on. We'll do two more, and I think we'll call it quits. I'm going to try to pick something quick. New York Gauntlet. Family tried to get street justice on a man taken into custody and killing of daughter found in sleeping bag. Cops couldn't protect him. Good. Yeah, sometimes street justice is absolutely necessary. Okay, I don't know why, but some videos are just not wanting to load. I don't know why. Alright, we can't pick that one. New Jersey man faces attempted murder charge after pulling up to Florida to settle a dispute over online video game. Attacked victim with a hammer. Wow, dude. Now, this is important, I guess, too, nowadays. I know when I was a kid, I know games didn't affect me or make me more violent, but I see the case with other people, obviously, especially these online multiplayer games, especially particularly the shooting ones, Call of Duty, shit like that. Yeah, niggas get in there feeling so hard, and like to the point where they was like, look up an IP address. It's kind of easy to do. I don't know if y'all know, but I used to be an informational tech back in the day, so stuff like that is pretty easy for me to even understand how to do. So of course these younger kids who probably are on a computer all day know how to do it too, and they can easily find your address and shit like that. So gotta be careful. It sucks though, because when you're playing a game online, it should be meant for fun, but I know sometimes when I play a fighting game, especially one of my favorites, Brawlhalla, sometimes you can just feel the energy. Like what people online or gamers online call it nowadays, it's like there's a bad or toxic community. So what they basically mean by that is sometimes when you do get into an online lobby or an online match with some of these people, you are pretty much going to get dogged out. You're pretty much going to get talked shit about. And people just going to be just insanely rude to you. It's nasty. It could get nasty. But you got to be a bigger person. And unfortunately for these youngsters, these teenagers, they're not. I don't think they're at that point yet to be able to do that. So, anyways, let's dive into this. Let's see what's going on here.
A man is in jail tonight accused of real-life violence against a local man he encountered during a video game. I'm Tanika Hughes.
And I'm Ben Becker. John Bachman has the night off.
That Asian man looks fucking mad.
20-year-old Edward Kang beat a man with a hammer and now faces attempted murder charges. Action Jack's Ben
attempted
Ryan is
murder,
live.
so
Ben, the sheriff
hopefully
says
the man's
Kang
alright.
flew from New Jersey to commit this attack.
And Ben, the sheriff said this serves as a reminder of potential real-world consequences from online interactions.
From New Jersey
Jesus
to Florida
Christ, dude.
to jail.
This is a weird one. Some things make you say, Some things you just can't make up.
20-year-old Edward Kang is a gamer and now an accused criminal. He's facing murder charges after Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper said he flew to the Sunshine State and tried to kill a man with a hammer. And it was all over a video game.
This
What game was it?
is where we live.
The two played Arcade, an online
Oh,
fantasy
dude, it wasn't even a fucking shooting game. What? They got that pistol on the fucking RPG? What kind of shit is that? Damn, these Asians be taking it to another notch, man.
The suspect stated that he is a bad person online, talking about the victim.
It's known as a massive multiplayer role-playing game where gaming experts like Mark Ronan say it's an ongoing experience with quests and adventures.
People just really enjoy their time spent in the game a lot more than whatever
In
they
real
have going on
life,
in real life.
that's
Or-
another thing.
Yeah,
that is
however you're
another thing, man. Well, this I can't say. Forgive me for saying what I just said about Asians. I know most Asians are probably not like this, but this man was living in New Jersey that actually flew down to Florida to do this. So, but it's kind of like a stigma, right? It's a lot of Asian nerds who spend most of their time on the computer, behind the computer and stuff, you know, and to the point where like their outside life is like secondary. Their online life is first or primary. So it's kind of a little bit hard for me to even contemplate or wrap it in my mind nowadays, especially, you know, me being a parent and stuff and having lived most of my life outdoors and stuff and on the move, you know. But yeah, man, it makes me think maybe there should be some stipulations that some rules, or I don't know, something that will help these people that have the potential to do shit like this, help them limit how much game time that they have, because yeah, real world interactions is what people need to, I guess, deal with, or these people need to deal with in order to know how to like deal with emotions in life, man. Like, you know what I'm trying to say is that a person who lives most of their life living behind the computer on a video game, they lose some kind of there's some kind of disconnect with how human interaction is supposed to be. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. But I think we heard enough. Let's move on. Let's do one more. I think we'll call it a wrap, y'all. Okay, I don't know if we'll be able to click on this one, but let me see. Okay, I've heard this story already on another channel. This is basically a rapper who apparently did a lot of trash talking, been very disrespectful for some people who apparently also passed away, and like the metaphysics of this whole case is absolutely insane, y'all. So obviously the title is called Julio Fulio Exposed His Location on Instagram, and basically somebody found out and killed this man, and it was on his birthday, his 26th birthday. So the reason why I want to dive into this is because, again, this PNE type energy, this pussy nigga energy, I don't understand why somebody would want to be so disrespectful, so hurtful, so demonic towards not only your own color, race of people, but anybody in general, you know. Like, why it does, I'm guessing that people see that still as cool, like randomly making ops and stuff, you know. Like, I don't understand it. And then you think that you're invulnerable. Like, bruh, people have feelings. And, you know, hold on, this is, I thought this was a 7-second video. Let's dive in. Let's see what they got to say.
We know at this point, around 4:40 this morning, we received a 911 call about a shooting that happened here in the parking lot behind me on McKinley and Fowler. What we have learned, and again, this is all very early in the investigation, is that 2 cars were shot at. 4 people were shot in total as a result of this. 3 of them were transported to hospitals, and 1 was pronounced deceased here on the scene. So we are working to learn what led up to the shooting, motive. You can see behind me a lot of officers are here. They are talking with witnesses. They are looking for video as it pertains to the shooting. As far as the people that are at local hospitals, we are working to get an update on their condition. It seems like they will survive their injuries, but again, that's very early in the investigation.
Yeah, man. So apparently this man was streaming his location on Instagram. I think they started at one location, then eventually got kicked out, and then had to go to where they could go, which apparently is the Holiday Inn. And he was still live streaming, and obviously people knew you or could figure out where he's going just by how they pay attention to your live streams. It's kind of a little bit of a scary thing, thinking about being live and stuff and live streaming, which, you know, at some point, if I do, you know, reach a certain amount of followers, which I'm trying to get there. If y'all can, make sure y'all liking and subscribing. But yeah, I'm not trying to put no bad energy out there, so hopefully I don't have any enemies that will try to come for me or my family. But just saying, man, yeah, it's scary. Just like I said with that last case with the Asian kid. Confine your IP, find out exactly where you live, and he probably did that by technical means. You live streaming and people seeing where you're going, just looking at your surroundings, could easily find out. I mean, there's so many people online nowadays, and glued with their faces to the screen, so they'd be like, oh shit, I know where that is, let's go there, he's over there. And obviously word will spread, and if you have ops, it's just a matter of time before they pull up on you, and you're gonna have to face the consequences of what you did. And apparently this man, again, I don't know if they're gonna get into this, we'll look a little bit further into this video, but yeah, man, you being disrespectful to people, you're gonna have a lot of enemies, so not cool, not good.
Those are really the details that I have at this point as we're unfolding and getting updates. I'll take a couple of questions for what I can't say.
Judy, were these guests at the hotel, do you know, that were staying here with some kind of beef or rivalry?
At this point, it's part of the investigation, but it seems that they might have been coming here to the hotel to get a room.
That man said beef so like in a white voice. And was like, is there any beef or rivalry? Like, did you hear that? I'm just throwing that out there.
Anything about the guests that were staying in the hotel? Did they have to be evacuated, or were they told to stay in place after the incident this morning?
Part of the investigation, I don't think so, because of what time it happened. At this point, you know, guests are waking up and we're updating them and we are assisting them with anything that they need assistance with at this time. But it didn't happen inside the hotel. It was in the parking lot.
And so, do you know how many suspects there were? How many people had guns?
Part of the investigation, we're hoping to be able to figure that part out, as well as get a description of the suspects so that we can get that information out to you. But I can tell you that there are cameras here, and our officers are working to view all of the cameras and talk with people, you know, who might have seen anything or heard anything. And I think that's the biggest thing at this point. You know, we always say it, but in cases like this, it really does make the difference. If you saw something, if you heard something, any little detail can help us figure out.
Okay, guys. I think we'll do one more. Just hopefully it'll be a quick one. But yeah, man, it's sad. It's really, really sad. Damn. Here's another one which I already know about, but I don't know if y'all know about this story. Oh man, this is the type of shit that'll bring a tear to my eye for sure. I'm gonna give you a little backstory before we dive into it. Basically, there's this woman, this older woman who obviously had some kind of mental issue. I know that because I watched somebody else do a video on the same case not too long ago, and they gave all the backstory that they could. Apparently this woman had some mental issues so bad to the point where she was trying to turn herself into the cops and get herself locked up before this incident happened. And unfortunately the cops weren't, I guess, taking her so serious. She did get herself locked up for a short amount of time. I think it was like 2 weeks, maybe a month, 2 months, something around that. And she got out, still had issues, and tried to go immediately back. So I'm not sure if this woman was homeless. I think she might have. She was, I guess, probably just done with life, man. So her reaction, I guess, her method of, I guess, dealing with everything was walking up to this random woman and her 3-year-old son while the woman was putting groceries inside her car. Walks up to the boy and offs the boy. 3-year-old boy, 3-year-old innocent, beautiful boy, man. And the way that she did it is just, it's so gruesome and so demonic. This is why I say, y'all, people need to see, I think, something better, you know, because there's a lot of demons that walk among us, and if they're not fully on the side of demonic, they're not really fully on the side of being positive and being a light being, you know what I'm saying? So they're not necessarily giving off good energy that people might need to feel nowadays. I'm not saying that good energy towards this woman this day probably would have prevented this from happening. As a matter of fact, you giving off good energy sometimes would probably make people want to take advantage of you. So I hope y'all know when I always talk about trying to be a good person and give off that good energy, I'm not trying to tell you to be a pushover, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to tell you to be pussy. You have to be tactical, you have to be smart, you got to learn how to read people, and I think that all comes from you being in tune with yourself, okay? It all goes hand in hand. I hope this is making sense, and let me just clarify it again from the man point of view. What I said about holding that seed is there's a chemical kind of reaction that goes on when you learn to hold it, and it's called the golden serum in some kind of cultures for a reason. Once it recycles through your body, it amplifies your aura field, and it literally can touch people very long distances away. I know that for a fact. Just think of, you know, when you walk into a grocery store, somebody further away catches your eye. Depending on how good your eyesight is, usually when your eyes land on that person, it's like they felt it in some kind of a sense, you know. And again, I'm talking granted that you kept yourself together, okay? I've noticed this time and time again. Me as a truck driver who travels and goes out and about, meets all kind of people, sees all kind of people, I notice how this interaction happens and it affects people. So there's something to it, and the most important thing about what I'm saying is that gold serum, it will help you deal with these emotions of other people way better and way easier, okay? It's just something to it. It is. It makes you physically stronger, I think. It makes you have this energy that you can anything that tries to hit you and just flies over you smoothly. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, guys. I'm going to look into this very sad case and we're going to call it a quits afterwards.
Code section 2903.11A1 and or endangering children in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2919.22.
Look at her. She's smiling, man.
Count 4 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did knowingly cause serious physical harm to J.W.
Absolutely fucking crazy.
Date of birth 10/29/2020. Count 5 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did torture or cruelly abuse J.W., date of birth 10/29/2020, a child under 18 years of age, and furthermore, the violation resulted in serious physical harm to J.W., date of birth 10/29/2020. Count 6 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did attempt to purposely cause the death of Margot Wood. Count 7 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did attempt to cause the death of Margot Wood as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, to wit, felonious assault, Ohio Revised Code section 2901.11A1. Count 8 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did knowingly cause serious physical harm to Margot Wood.
What is
Count
this,
9
man? I did not expect this to be all the charges that this woman's getting. I thought there was going to be some backstory to this. I hate to do it, but looks like I think one of the family members is about to speak right here. So let's go ahead and see what they got to say. Man looks
Good morning, sir.
defeated,
Could you start
man.
with your name?
My name is Jared Wood.
That's the wife, the father.
Deceased. Husband of Margot. Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son. Or anything that my wife and I, or even our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. And I really wish no bail, period.
That should be mandatory.
Or extend it to the max limit possible that you can.
Yeah, man.
At the very least. Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else you would like to say?
That'll be it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Damn. What the hell? I thought something already dropped back there, man. Alright. Yeah, this is just to see, you know, he's keeping his composure, but just you can obviously easily tell the pain in this man's face. And this is, again, you know, why I say, like, be in tune with yourself. This way you can help be in tune with other people, because obviously people put a mask on sometimes, you know, and you never know what people are going through. Gotta be the bigger person, man. And if you don't have it in you, you don't have it in you. But if this message and what I'm saying does hit y'all where it's supposed to be hit, I advise y'all to do as much as you can for this world. Thoroughly, you know. This world needs it, man. Definitely does. And this is so sad. I can't help but think about it being in my position. I only have one boy, and he's 5, man. And I couldn't imagine somebody coming up to him and just, you know, he like, what? I feel so bad for this man, man. And I hope we can send like blessings and good energy towards this man and his family. I'm not sure if the wife is okay, but yeah, hopefully they will pull on through, man. And it's sad. It just made me, you know, well, I think we'll stop it here, guys, with this. But I did want to touch up on something I think I might have touched up on. Again, like I said, I did another video before that fucked up, failed, and didn't have any sound. But I wanted to touch on this whole relationship thing between man and woman, right? I might have said something. If I did, forgive me, but I think I need to emphasize on it a little bit more. Man, again, I know I said this earlier, that men, you got to be way stronger for you women, right? Because they're more emotional, and you just have to be a stronger person, because like that's one side of the coin. Like, that's supposed to be two. And I don't always like to quote from the Bible, but when a man and woman get married, and even before marriage, like once y'all make that agreement to be together, it should be considered one. So one side of the coin is the masculine type of energy, and one side of the coin is the feminine type of energy. The masculine side is supposed to be representing himself in such a way where it's almost you could not be unfavored, unbothered, or knocked off for that type of energy, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that would help contribute to that nowadays. But what I really wanted to say, man, is that when you think about a couple that eventually had a child and then they split, and you see the energy, you see how they interact, and then I'm not talking about in everybody's case. Everybody who's able to co-parent, shout out to y'all, and y'all do it positively. But it just makes me think about this energy that clashes. Like, you had such an extreme love for somebody at some point, and then after some time, after y'all split and break up and y'all have a child, usually it seems like that energy turns like in the complete opposite direction. It's almost like y'all hate each other, you know. And it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around, because even for me, in my case, the mother of my kids, you know, I still have a very strong, extreme love for her. But, you know, after some time and stuff goes on, there's been these clashes from time to time, you know. for specific reasons. Not everybody else's case, but yeah, man, it's just it baffles me when you really think about it, how you can turn from loving somebody so hard. Because I don't know about y'all, that's why I choose to pick my woman, the woman who I choose to spend my time with, wisely. Because if I don't see some kind of future with you, there's no point, you know. But and this whole word love, I think it's a very limited word. It's not just how you show or express this feeling that we say to people. It's a whole lot more to it. I think you're actually giving parts of your soul and your whole core being to that person when you do express what these people call love. You know what I'm saying? So, men, be wise about who you pick and choose to make that special woman in your life, or you know. And women, y'all gotta be wise as well. Y'all seem to be doing bad in that area too, picking these men that just have the stigma usually, you know. That's a whole nother ball game. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna get off of this relationship shit. I'm not a relationship expert, but I said my piece. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Appreciate y'all for sticking through with this video. If y'all made it to this point, I really do appreciate that. This was a different type of video. It's a completely random thing, you know. Normally when I do videos, it's kind of like pre-planned. I know a video that I want to do some kind of reaction on, and if it's doing some kind of game, of course, I know what game you want to jump into. It's just kind of random in its own sense. But this, I kind of wanted to speak my heart, speak about some things that's been on my mind lately, and I appreciate y'all for listening through with me. So shout out to all y'all. Much blessings to you and your family, and whatever time of day it is, time of night it is, enjoy the rest of it, and I'm gonna catch y'all soon the next time. Okay, X out.